Hello my lovely nurglings, welcome to more battle games in the 41st millennium. Warhammer Conquest Issue 31, and I've got some deja vu because I've just recorded the entire video without pressing record on the camera, so I'm doing it all again. Anyway, never mind that. So for this issue I've got a little bit of bad news. I had ordered an extra copy along with a copy of issue number 29, which was our captain one, which I was hoping to give away as a prize this week. However, unfortunately, my newsagent wasn't able to get it, and he seems to think that Hachette, who he gets them from, are clamping down on getting extra spare issues. So that's a shame. I'll always ask for extra issues and I'll always give them away, but this week we are denied. So sorry about that. And maybe at the end of the video, I'll touch for 2 seconds on the relationship between Hachette, the subscribers who get things delivered direct to their homes, and people like newsagents and that kind of thing. So anyway, what have we got this week? Celestia Grey base paint, Death Guard Green base paint, and a layer brush. Now I like the layer brush because, contrary to I believe all of the paintbrushes that I've received in these issues before, I've never had one before in this range of magazines that's had the little protective tube on it. So thanks for that, Hachette, much appreciated. Anyway, the layer brush is a decent brush actually. Mine has got a few wayward fibres on there, but never mind. So let's get cracking. Issue 31, Reboot Guilliman Origins, Plague Legions of Nurgle, and painting with Celestia Grey. Celestia Grey. I've been saying Celestia Grey for years. Must be my kids watching My Little Pony. Princess Celestia. Anyway, right, in this issue, it's all about the paint in this issue, with a refill of Death Guard Green, a new paint and a new brush. Your new paint, Celestia Grey, is used to paint the smoke on your Death Guard models and the lights on your vehicles. The medium layer brush that comes with this issue is just what you need to paint small details, like these lights. With that in mind, we've included an extra paint guide in this issue. It's time to go back to your Death Guard models and paint the horns, teeth and skulls with Rakear flesh. As always, we have plenty of other articles that bring the 41st millennium to life. There's also a new mission for you to play too. Okay, brilliant. Happy hobbying. Okay, so in this issue we've got an article on Reboot Guilliman, the Avenging Sun. We've got a Brotherhood at War, which is more about our Space Marine chapters. We've got articles on the Death Angels. We've got an article on the Plague Legions. We've got painting guides for Celestia Grey and Death Guard finer details. And then we've got our rules mission number 15, Ultramarines Advance. Okay, so first of all, Guilliman Avenging Sun. Reboot Guilliman's earliest days were spent on the harsh mountainous world of Macragge. It was there, amongst the disciplined, hard-working people of his adoptive homeworld, he took his first steps on the path to becoming one of the most powerful warriors and mightiest generals in the galaxy. Very good. Then we've got another kind of page of timeline history. So we've got a timeline that goes from millennium 31 to 34, and then 35 to 40, the time of trials. And then we've got a lot here, millennium 41, which is the time of ending, which we've got a lot here. And I'll tell you what the individual things were called. We've got Conquest and Heresy, the Bloodstar Campaign, the Lithon Purge, the Badab War, the Second Tyrannic War, Leviathan Blunted, Third War for Armageddon, the Maelstrom Threat, the 13th Black Crusade, Guilliman Awakes, the Great Rift, a New Breed, to shield the Shrine Worlds. So that's good. Next we've got Dark Angels. The Dark Angels were the first legion created by the Emperor of Mankind. Now over 10,000 years later, the Dark Angels still defend humanity. Okay, so that's good as well. Then we've got the Plague Legions. The Demon Legions of Nurgle may seem like a disorganised mass of heaving flesh, but there's plenty of purpose in their design. Each Plague Legion exists to spread Nurgle's gifts across the undeserving galaxy. Lovely. Okay, so we've got quite quite a lot of information there about the legions. The legions include Investus, Dirge Tollers, Buzzblitz, Plague Swords of Bad Rub, Shambling Horde, the Worm Ridden, the Feck Flies, and the Septicus Legion. Right, nice. Okay, so now we've got a paint guide for Celestia Grey, and it's showing us the smoke on Lord Felthius and the Tainted Cohort, the lights and the little missiles that are on the Redemptor Dreadnought, the lights on the Chaos Rhino. Then we've got a guide on Death Guard details, so it's showing us some Rekar Flesh and Agrax Earthshade on our Blight Hauler, and the same on Lord Felthius and the Tainted Cohort. So that also is awesome. Oh blimey, more. So same on the Poxwalkers. Yeah, same on the Poxwalkers. Okay, so that's good. Now rules mission number 15. The northern section of Barakius may be under Ultramarines' control, but the Death Guard assaults continue. Captain Akaran plans to meet the Death Guard offensive head-on and use the momentum of a victory to gain more ground. So that's good. This one's called Ultramarines Advance, and it's got quite a lot of flavour text giving us some background to what's going on here. So if we look at the mission itself, it's called Seize the City. Captain Akaran and his Ultramarines are about to launch a major offensive. To do so, they will need to clear the remaining Death Guard from the ruins of the northern Hab zones. Unfortunately for the Space Marines, Lord Felthius has arrived and is keen to stop this from happening. So we have got deployment at each corner, 4 objectives, 2 on each side. The armies are 2 units of 3 Plague Marines, 2 units of 6 Poxwalkers, the Mephitic Blight Hauler, the Tainted Cohort and Lord Felthius, up against 2 units of 3 Intercessors, 2 Inceptors, 3 Aggressors, Lieutenant Calcius and Captain Akaran himself. Victory conditions are: at the end of the game, each of the objective areas highlighted in red is worth 2 victory points to the player who controls it. At the end of the game, each player earns 1 victory point if they control their deployment zone, and they earn 3 victory points if they control their enemies. So that is awesome, very good. Okay, so looking forward, next week we have got the awesome Primaris Apothecary, which is easily one of my favourite models in this series. It's really cool. I really hope I get an extra copy of this to give away, because it is that good. It's an awesome model. And issue number 33 is Thermic Plasma Conduits, and they are pretty cool. I'm sure you've seen them before, but they are nice. Okay, so that is it for the issue. So what I wanted to touch on very quickly before I go is the kind of relationship from the publisher and the subscribers. So the publisher is a company called Hachette, and so they're obviously working alongside on the behalf of Games Workshop, and they offer 2 subscription models. And I'm sorry for everyone who already knows this, I'm sure there's millions of you, that you can either buy issues in quantities of 4, which are done on a subscription basis via Hachette, and they send them direct to you. I am led to believe that, well, my friend calls Hachette because they send them when they want and they charge whatever they want when they send them. So he quite often receives things he didn't ask for, he's received duplicates that he's paid for, and that kind of thing. Now, so there's that. Now, I don't do it that way. I pick up from my local newsagent, and the reason for that is, number one, I like my newsagent. He's a nice guy, and I've known him for years. And I'd rather he had an extra pound in his pocket than the massive kind of global phenomenon that is Hachette. And so I'd rather he get it. Now, historically, when I've wanted an extra issue, I've just asked my newsagent the week before, I say, right, next week. So when I saw him today, I said, Primaris Apothecary, I'll have 3 for next week, please. and 9 times out of 10 he's just ordered them in and got them. Now I think that Hachette are clamping down on this a little bit, and only because of the success of the last kind of 6 or 7 magazines. So I think there was such a clambering for the Rhino magazines, the Redemptor Dreadnought magazines, and our Captain one, Captain Acheron, which was the Captain in Grav armour, in Gravis armour, with 3 sergeants. It was an Intercessor, an Inceptor, and a Hellblaster. And I think that's led to them cracking down on extra issues going out, which is why I only got one of these today. I also, because I go on a lot of forums for Conquest as well, because you know I like seeing what the community does. Particularly, there's one on Facebook, the Warhammer Conquest fans. They're really, really good. I suggest you check them out. They do a painting competition and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I like going on there, and you can see the frustration from people. You can see people who go to some of the bigger chains, like in the UK we've got one called WH Smith, and they stock these on a weekly basis. And you'll see some people who turn up at 8:10 in the morning and there's none left. So they're gutted because they've got no other option to get it. And then you see some people who got there at 8:05 and they're bragging because they picked up all 5 copies. So it's a bit of a funny situation. You can either go down the line of getting them from Hachette and just getting a really crappy service. You can get them from your newsagents like I do, which I've been really happy with. And it's not his fault you couldn't get the extra copy this week. I think that things are just clamping down a little bit, because I think there will have been a lot of disappointed people if for the more important issues, or maybe not more important, but for the bigger issues, because I'm sure that loads of people will have ordered them through newsagents and got extra copies, and someone will have fallen foul of it. You know, some people won't have got what they wanted. But I just wanted to touch on that and let you know kind of the different things that are available. So I will always stick with my newsagent. Now, he doesn't get in the ring binders or any of the extras or any of that kind of thing. If I want them, I have to pick them up on YouTube or something like that. Sorry, if I want them, I have to pick them up on eBay or something like that. But I don't mind doing that. I'd rather support my newsagent than anything else. So thanks for listening to my little rant there. Thanks for watching this issue. It's pretty dull, I have to admit. But you know, we've got some nice paints. Celestra Grey looks like a decent paint. It's actually one I don't have. That is going to need a good mixing up. But yeah, but it looks pretty good. Everyone loves a layer paint, and it is thankfully protected with its little paintbrush condom there. So thanks for that. So I hope you enjoyed this issue. If you did, like and subscribe. If you didn't, please let us know why. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description so you can donate to my PayPal. All of the money goes into content for the channel, so it's either products to buy that I can review, or what I'm actually after at the moment is I need to upgrade my camera. I'm currently recording an iPhone 6 and I think it does okay, but I'd like to get things a little bit better. I need to get some lighting as well. But anyway, thank you so much guys. I'll catch you on the flip flop.